Okay, hey guys. So we wanted to take a look on the second of the two platforms that comprise the Speedy Publishing Online Reader. And in this case, what we're doing is that we're logging into speedypublishing.online. And there are two ways, obviously, we can log in. Of course, we're going to log in using the teacher's login initially. But we wanted to also state that a login can actually be created by using an access code. And by giving an individual an access code, they can enter that access code. That access code gives them immediate access to the content or any specific book in the content. And they can actually go ahead and create an account using that particular access code. We did this primarily as a really great marketing tool, especially when we wanted to give individuals access to kind of preview the book in digital form. So that has served us really, really well, but that's just a feature that we want to kind of point out. So to start off, let's go ahead and see if we can log in, and I'm going to go ahead and log in here. And once you log in, you get to the initial landing, the dashboard, and the dashboard starts off with the top level navigation here. And of course, you have all the books that you have what you've recently viewed, books that you favorited, grade 1 content, and everything is kind of split up into the different collections or catalogs. And you can scroll through here to see the different catalogs depending on the grade level. So you've got grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we have a massive collection for just grade 3 to 5. And then of course we have kindergarten, we have pre-K, and then we have our STEM focused curriculum. And then finally we have our True Canadian series, which would be of course True Canadian biographies, and then of course True Canadian mythology, right? So we wanted to head back over here, and that's a great way, of course, to sell into Canada from our sister company, Speedy Publishing Canada Limited. All right, so let's get started just to kind of take a quick look on how this is all laid out. So I'll start with, let's say, grade 3, and I'll look on geography and travel. So once we select this particular grade, we can see, of course, the collection is geography and travel, and then we can see quite a number of titles here. It tells us that there are 51 titles that are in this particular catalog or collection. And you can scroll through here and see each of these existing titles. Now, we can also start off by seeing, getting the information on the book. So we can click here. So we've got information here. And then we can dive into the existing content itself. So I can probably take a look on, let's grab A Balancing Act as the first title. Now, once you click on this, there's going to be a little walkthrough. Sorry, and this happens for both student and teacher, right? So it kind of tells you what the links are all for, how to kind of go through the existing content, how to navigate throughout the particular page here, and then once you've completed that, then you can click move forward. And then, of course, to the right here, you can scroll through to the next page, and you can continue through the content here. You can also go through the table of contents, which is right here, and you can look on, say, Chapter 1, Types of Ecosystems, and Terrestrial, Aquatic, 2 Nature Cycles, Chapter 3 here, we've got that, we've got our summary, and then, of course, at the end, we have our mark records, which are very, very important with respect to ordering. We can also go ahead and put in, so I'll just go ahead and say natural change here. Okay, so let's say for argument's sake that we wanted to highlight any area, and this is one of the things that we had mentioned before. We can actually go ahead and put in a sticky note. So if I wanted to, I could go ahead and put in a sticky note here, and I could say, okay, hey, this is really great, and an exclamation mark. I can then save that sticky note here, and then I can take that same sticky note and I can share it with the Mackin Science class. And then, of course, because I'm an instructor, I can go ahead and share that with any specific student. So there could be hundreds of students here, and there could also be teachers. Now, all teachers listed, the content or the note that you make will be shared with them, right? And they can actually see that. So I'll go ahead and click on Done. And then once I've done that, I can also go ahead and highlight a section. So if I decided to click here and I decided to highlight this entire paragraph here, I can also add a notation to that highlight, right, which is right here, and say this, enter a note here and say this is important. I'll put a quick full stop there, and then I'll go ahead and save that. And then I can also go ahead and share that as well with all the students, right? And I can hit the done button there. So all the students have been shared with that particular important highlight, right? And there are lots of other features. So I want to head back to the dashboard here. And I wanted to point out that, of course, there's a really great search functionality here. So if I was to look for astronomy, and I wanted to search for astronomy, I can find all the content that's here. If I wanted to search for astronomy grade 3, I could also search for that as well, and I'll find astronomy grade 3 here, so I can find content, and that helps tremendously with the research, of course, at the end of the day. So there's a really great search functionality within the book. There's also a really great search functionality there as well. So I want to hit the cancel button here, and then to the top right hand corner here, once you click on the profile, you're able to edit your profile here. You can upload an image, you can change the name and do all of that. You can also, of course, change your password if you so desire. You can put in your current password, new password, etc., etc. And then, of course, you can view our about us or privacy policy terms and conditions, and then you can take the help tour. That's also really important. So if you were right here, this can, of course, give you a help tour right within the context topic, right? And then finally, of course, you can head over to our help desk section. So we have an entire help desk that's dedicated, a ticketed system that's dedicated specifically towards the e-reader. And that's really, really important, because I know that once, if our e-reader does live on another ecosystem, it's really, really important for us to provide that level of support to that particular reader, right? So, and that's definitely important. And of course, we have, latest software updates, and we have a lot of content here. So in terms of reader tutorials, we've got quite a bit of stuff here. So if we wanted to head to the reader tutorial here, we want to say, how to log in, understanding navigation, how to search collections, how to use a deep dive search. And what we did was that while we could have done a lot of videos, we believe that it was going to kind of be easier to kind of lay it out so that everyone can kind of understand by just following simple walkthrough steps here, right? And that was going to be super, super important. So to come back to this side of the world, once you're a teacher, and let's say you decided to select an existing title here, and we wanted to look on, for argument's sake, this particular book, which are water amphibians, and we wanted to see, what exactly happened with this particular bit of content here. How did the reader or how did the student kind of interact with this content? We have the ability to go back, and I can go over here to recently viewed, and I can click on the more info, and then I can view the analytics, right? And the analytics, of course, will give me all the information, if the book was assigned, average reading time, all that information here, which is also very, very, very important, right? So that pretty much kind of gives you a really, really good idea of how to actually view that particular bit of content, right? And that's super, super, super important. So it's a critical part of what we're doing, and its backend system is really, really easy to navigate for both teachers as well as students, right? So we'll head over now to the student side to kind of get a view of how that particularly works.